While we Malaysians go quietly about our daily business, there are actually a number of really important things happening that we are not so aware of. Like the European Union celebrating its 60th anniversary this year. What is also unknown is that the EU is very much present and active in Malaysia.
Setahu saya dia bekerjasama di antara Malaysia dengan negeri-negeri lain kan?
EU? No, I have no idea.
So sorry for this. It's high time that we are going to do something about this. While EU may not be known very much, many Malaysians do like European companies.
Can I say Ferrari or IKEA?
IKEA aku masyur. Saya suka perabot dia. Lepas tu untuk kalau buat decoration bilik memang sangat sesuai lah. Sebab cermin dia, lampu dia sangat menepati cita rasa saya lah. Sebab tu harga dia sangat affordable. Saya setuju dengan harga dia dengan design dia.
But the old one that we have had for many years is one of the most visited stores in the world. So somehow our engagement with Malaysia has really worked well.
Then of course there is business, trade and investment. The EU is directly responsible for organizing the external trade of all EU member states with developed countries like Malaysia. EU-Malaysia trade and investment relations are literally big business. Malaysia is the EU's second biggest trading partner in ASEAN. For many years, the EU member states combined was the most important investor in Malaysia. There are currently more than 2,000 EU companies active in Malaysia, employing tens of thousands of people. Let's look at an iconic EU company, Airbus.
Certainly Airbus is a typical example of the success of this European nation, and proudly we are announcing the delivery of the fourth F400M in Malaysia as being typically an European program.
The European companies need markets where there's going to be growth in the future. Malaysia is the perfect entry point into ASEAN. Therefore, so far the relationship has been very good. A lot of companies have come into Malaysia, a lot of European companies from Germany, from France, from the UK, from Italy, from all the countries. And this trend will continue because Malaysia is definitely the most cost-effective and the best value for money entry point into ASEAN. And so I believe the trend will stay and it will develop further.
Another area where the EU is really active, climate change and preservation of forests and biodiversity, are particularly important in Malaysia.
Well, Malaysia and Europe have a big stake on environment, on climate, on our migration challenges, on our security challenges, and we cannot do this alone. Nor Europe alone, nor Malaysia alone, nor Asia alone. We need to do that in global partnership.
In Sabah, the EU has a large project for REDD+, the UN's program to use and preserve existing forests for carbon storage. Besides this, the project also aims to directly assist local communities in plant management.
Penerangan sesed kan baru kapuriman hade lah kapuriman hade tinapay kuling nga kaniko may pagano dit kaniko may pagano dit noy nakatarang dia lang nga memang kat asan ng kopya lah asan ng kopya nagalat bang hopiti kampung dat nori papensawat.
Another remarkable project is the Southeast Asia Peatland Preservation Project, where the EU pays to replant peatlands in Southeast Asia, including Malaysia, to prevent them from falling prey to fires. This mitigates the annual haze. One of the project sites is here in northern Selangor.
Conservation and rehabilitation of peatlands and forests is crucial in the fight against climate change and stopping transboundary haze in Southeast Asia. The European Union, through its support of the CP project, has brought stakeholders together to conserve and rehabilitate peatland forests in Malaysia and the region. European Union ambassadors have joined local communities and other stakeholders in planting trees in Malaysia's peatland.
In the past, the EU has also been looking after the neediest people in Malaysia. For example, migrant and stateless children in Sabah. EU has been relentlessly supporting the efforts of basic education of thousands of young children.
doktor. Tidak, jadi penyanyi.
One of the most important things the EU does in Malaysia is to stand for universal human rights. That is what the EU was founded on.
And so I think we are grateful to the European Union for posing those kinds of serious questions that will, that forces Malaysia to rethink some of its issues and some of its positions, and hopefully we can evolve gradually into a more enlightened perspective of human rights.
We've worked very closely on human rights issues with the European Union. We've found that the diplomats working on those issues are skilled, accomplished, and very committed. We believe that the European Union has been a tremendous force for human rights in Malaysia.
This penalty, the execution, is the only system in the world has this of exactly when is he going to be killed.
Through people-to-people contacts between the EU and Malaysia are the pillars for higher education exchanges. Hundreds of young, bright Malaysian students have been receiving EU support for doing part of their studies in the EU.
Saint Michael Penampang. Merci. Terima kasih.
Thank you, EU.
During the Kelantan floods in early 2015, the EU provided clean drinking water facilities to 2 kampungs in the interior.
And we are working together in complement with all the EU embassies in Malaysia, and together we form a big group.
It is also about every EU country's diplomatic mission and its 17 EU ambassadors, as well as European cultures living in Malaysia.
That Europe is also a positive story, that not all the things are going bad in Europe, that we are still continue to be a global economic and political player in the world, but also in Asia and also in Malaysia with our Malaysian partners.
As you can see, the EU actually has a lot of activities in Malaysia. The EU has a small but dynamic office in Malaysia, led by Ambassador and Head of Delegation Maria Castillo Fernandez.
Today we have European citizens sharing and living in freedom and in economic prosperity and in peace. And we always forget that it's peace and stability what we have today.
So on this 60th anniversary year of the European Union, I'm happy to wish you joyous anniversaire.
Congratulations to the European Union on your 60th anniversary.
Congratulations on the 60th birthday EU. Grattis på 60-årsdagen EU.
So let me take this opportunity to say happy birthday European Union, happy birthday EU, buon compleanno Europa.
We are sincerely congratulating the European nation for the 60th anniversary of the Treaty of Rome.
Saya ingin mengucapkan selamat hari jadi yang ke-60 EU. Tahniah.
Good luck. We look forward to working with you in the future, and congratulations on the 60th anniversary.
Selamat hari jadi EU.
Congratulations Europe to your anniversary. We love you.
Happy birthday EU.
生日快乐 EU.
Piranal Waltugal EU 60th anniversary.
Happy birthday EU.
Kotobian tada kinohidian. Aramaiti.
Happy birthday EU.